And welcome to That Business Show 2.0. I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. My guest today is Asif Hakeem, CEO of Hakeem Investments here in Florida, and learn more about him throughout the discussion at HakeemInvestments.com. So Asif, welcome to the program today.
Thank you, Jamie.
So you're a big investor in real estate, and first off, I know you got some space available for leasing. So let's talk about currently what you got out there on the marketplace from your own company.
So right now we have two offices on North Del Mabry at 6800 North Del Mabry Highway, and Suite 100 is roughly around 12,000 square feet, and it's pretty open. It has some perimeter offices, large break room, conference rooms, and the other one we have is Suite 226. It's 50 offices with conference rooms as well, but this is more of an executive office style of a space, or for a nursing program or a nursing school. We're right on Del Mabry and Lambright, just north of Raymond James Stadium.
All right, and so HakeemInvestments.com for more information. We have so many different business professionals listen to the show, wanting to get that information out, so people looking to come into the Tampa Bay area, there's some options right there to move your business into Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just a booming, economy in general. Real estate really starting to take off from a, commercial real estate standpoint, and you've been involved in many transactions, and have a very healthy portfolio yourself. How's it looking out there in the business and commercial space?
I think everything's on the uptick. I think with the market trending and people moving in to Tampa, I think everything's on the upswing. Is
that because of the issues, not the issues, but what's been going on with Channel Side in South Tampa ever since Jeff Bennett came into our marketplace and has announced, this revitalization, plan? Did you notice a surge at that point, or are there other, things coming into play?
Yeah, I think strategic property partners have definitely brought a positive vibe to Hillsborough County. Also, the Gates Foundation. I think Bob Buckhorn tried very hard for all these things to come to Tampa, so he should get some credit for that. Also, I think the trends for the multifamily are really what piqued my interest when they started building these big 500, 600 unit apartment complexes throughout town. Mm-hmm. We just had the JCC move into right. South Tampa as well, so I think that's a very positive sign for all the snowbirds coming into town instead of going down to Miami, Coral Gables, West Palm Beach. They have new areas to come to in Hillsborough County, which is very great news for us.
Yeah, and when you look at Miami prices versus Tampa Bay prices, it's night and day. And I talk about this on my real estate show a lot, the differentiation or difference in values between us and other major cities. Tampa is a great place to come in and invest now because, up is the only way it has to go right now. It can't go much lower because, compared to other major cities, we're way below everybody else. And so what are some of the good areas that you like to invest in Tampa Bay? I know you're big on like Plant City, for instance.
Yeah, well, I mean, like going back to that article from 2008, that Time Magazine article where the hardest hit markets in the United States were going to have a V-shaped graph. We're also going to be the ones to rise or rebound the fastest. And you can see the top 5 hardest hit markets during the Great Recession back in 2008 or so was Tampa, Miami, Orlando, 3 in just Florida. And then I think it was like Phoenix, Arizona, and Los Angeles, California. But these markets all have rebounded so greatly.
They have.
And but in our sector, I think South Tampa's prices, they were not affected as much as the heart of Tampa was. West Tampa, Tampa Heights, mm-hmm. New Tampa, Wesley Chapel, Bruce B. Downs areas. I think even as far east, everything is going east on I-4 now. I think I-4 is the top 10 developing corridor in the whole nation.
A lot of open area between here and Orlando. Of course, you have Lakeland sitting there in the middle, but still a lot of open area.
Lakeland has been booming. I mean, I think we were reading an article last month or so with 24 new hotel projects under EB5 in Winter Park, Polk County. Yeah. And they're speculating that it's just going to increase because of the Lego land that they built over there. They built a beach resort, and it's just, it was a great idea.
Yeah, the I-4 corridor, which connects Tampa to Orlando with Lakeland in between us there. Lakeland probably having about 150, 200,000 residents. So that's actually where I first moved to, coming out of West Virginia when I was 18. I went to Lakeland, went to Florida Southern College.
My father as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember coming out of small town West Virginia and thinking Lakeland was like the biggest city I'd ever seen. And even
like Parker, right?
There you go, yeah. And now I look at Tampa, I was like, wow, Tampa is a small city. But yeah, back when I was 18, Lakeland was a major city to myself. I read an article recently about a developer bringing a concept into Tampa, the tiny house space, or the small space living. He's about to build a development.
Tiny homes.
Tiny homes, there you go. What's your take on this and the millennials and their need for less as opposed to more?
I've actually researched this topic pretty good or thoroughly. It kind of piqued my interest back. I think the Tata Group in India were developing these houses for about $1,000 a piece for these rural areas in India where they could come and they could drop a house fully done on a helicopter, and they'd just have it set up and within a day for about $1,000, which was very affordable, and it seems like a great idea. I also went to Chicago, and they have a museum over there with this concept of converting containers into apartment complexes.
Talk about shipping containers?
Shipping containers.
Okay.
Type in shipping containers and Google images of apartment complexes and shipping containers. Will blow your mind.
How many are getting? How many people are living in those things?
Around the world it's pretty big.
Yeah.
But
I mean, one shipping container can fit roughly how many people?
You could have a 2-bedroom unit with maybe mom, dad, and maybe
big,
2
actually.
kids.
I mean, pretty big
the 40-foot. It's pretty good size. Just have to customize it a little bit with some
put
windows,
some windows
doors,
and a door on it, right? No
put a
plumbing
package
system.
unit. It's a done deal.
And so, do you think this concept is going to take off?
In the third world countries, there's a lot of lack of zoning issues and things of that kind of consideration.
But not necessarily that idea. I'm just talking about the idea of smaller living spaces in our urban communities, Tampa.
I really don't have enough information on if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. I think it's a great idea that some people, it might work for some folks. I mean, if you go to Pasco County, it's the trailer park capital of the whole world. So a shipping container versus a mobile home is not really that much different. It just has wheels on it, and it is made out of.
I wonder how stability in a big storm comes into play with a shipping container.
Suffolk Hills has been there forever. What do they call it? The God's waiting room.
Oh yeah. I always joke every time a tornado comes through. It always finds the trailer parks.
There's a lot of them that have lucked out, but there's so many that I think it could be a very, very good new way of developing properties. I just don't know about the zoning and how many density, and when you get into the real land use portion of it, how much how is it?
Our younger generations and our millennials, they're waiting longer to get married. They are not so keen on buying a home. They're more about the experience and community, and so they see a home as not necessarily the American dream. They see a home as a place to go sleep, recuperate, and go back out into the community. So I don't know. Only time will tell if smaller living spaces
get out of parents' house too, right?
Get out of the parents' house. Yeah, once they get out of the parents' house, correct. Historically, the big residential phenomenon was suburbanization. Go out into the suburbs and build bigger houses where it was cheaper. Exactly. And you're very bullish on Plant City, and I want to talk about that here in just a moment. But in today's mindset, that less is more, and a developer here in Tampa bringing that concept here, and we'll see if that takes off. Plant City. Why Plant City, though?
So, I try to correlate this to areas that I visited around the United States, and I see a very strong correlation between downtown Denver, Colorado, and Denver Tech Center, which is almost probably a similar proximity away from each other as Tampa is to Plant City. They're in the same county, but downtown Denver maxed out, decades ago during the gold and silver rush, and they had a whole bunch of influx of IBMs, Microsoft, Xerox, all these huge Oracle, companies, and they didn't have any place to put them, so they developed this train system from downtown Denver to their tech center, and then the tech center is just full of hotels and all these, high-tech type companies, and I think those are already been talked about coming in the paper. With I think San Francisco getting direct flights here. I think our capital for intellectual capital is going to be very strong.
Now, you deal a lot, obviously, with commercial space properties. How has international investment come into play into your business? Are you seeing more and more international players, or are you still dealing mostly with domestic type of investment?
I'm dealing mostly with domestic and government officials here locally, but, just doing some research on EB5 for some hotel projects recently. There's so many people in line in China trying to get over here through EB5 funding.
What is EB5 funding?
EB5 is kind of a way. It's a visa program introduced by the government, and basically you have to put a minimum of $500,000 into a investment. Usually the top two are usually like hotels or assisted living facilities, and create 20 permanent jobs for a couple of years. And with that, you get ahead of the line to coming into the United States. So basically, these folks in China that were sitting on land for many generations, and all of a sudden it became very, very, very valuable. They made a gold mine off of them, and they want to get out of there and have more opportunity to raise their families in the United States and prosper even more. I think another area that a lot of turmoil is going on right now is Venezuela. Post Chavez, new Maduro, they're burning down their legislatures, and there's a lot of turmoil down there. And similarly, there's a lot of wealthy people down there trying to get out of the, martial law type of atmosphere that's going to probably come up in Venezuela. So I think these are all strong signs of,
Your own personal portfolio of investments. What's your outlook over the next year? What's your plan? Are you in a buying mode? Are you in a selling mode? What's your strategy right now?
We're looking at a few key properties that are on our list for developing in the long-term portfolio for bigger tracts of land, and we also are looking to get into the development mode. As you know, Tampa just got lucky, and we're going to be hosting the Super Bowl in 4 years, and we are the hottest hotel market in the whole country at the moment. I mean, this is very amazing of the timing of how it happened. I mean, so we're looking to build a 5-story hotel as well next to the Hard Rock Casino in Tampa with a 5-story parking garage, and we're just looking through some funding options right now. But
a lot of opportunity there by that casino sitting over there.
They've already started that 17-story expansion that we talked about last time with that 585 additional rooms.
Yeah.
So, we're just about 150 feet away from it. So I think it makes sense to put a hotel next door. However,
well, you definitely cut down on those prices that casino charges. We're talking about the Hard Rock Tampa Casino here, which charges a minimum like $400 a night, and that's for the off nights, and they get up over $1,000, I think, on the weekends now.
Yeah,
over there.
Sixth largest hotel and casino in the world as it sits right now.
You could set one right beside it and cut those prices right in half and get all kind. You'd fill up in a 24, because they're always sold out too.
Yeah, they are.
They're always sold out. So
they are.
Hold that point there. We'll talk a little bit more about that and the need for diversification and adaptability in business when we come back from the break. Currently talking to Asif Hakeem. He's the CEO of Hakeem Investments here in Florida. And learn more about his investments and his available inventory, HakeemInvestments.com, or give him a call, 813-240-8380. You're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Hi, Jackie Skelton from JR World Travel here. If you travel, you need a licensed professional travel consultant, not a computer. Your licensed professional consultant can get you more for your time and your money. Value for your money and experience, not marketing salesmanship. When you're sick, you call the doctor. When you need legal advice, you call an attorney. So the next time you want to go on any type of travel, Call your licensed professional travel consultant who actually represents you. We specialise in group travel, family reunions, weddings, to escorting large groups or making special arrangements for the disabled. Please call 844-249-0190. We are a full-service travel consultancy offering worldwide concierge service. Air, land, sea, rivers, resorts, locally, nationally and internationally. Remember that number, 844-249-0190.
Welcome back to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. My guest today, Asif Hakeem, CEO of Hakeem Investments here in Florida. Learn more at HakeemInvestments.com. And Asif, in that last segment, you're talking about the new project in the works about to go up next to the Seminole Hard Rock Casino here in Tampa. What goes on in a project of the magnitude that you are planning here? And you're talking about, a five-star hotel, correct?
Well, I think the Hard Rock Casino might be a 4-star, but it might be a 5-diamond.
But what you're planning, though, is what I'm saying.
I don't know if we're going to be able to, in that location, for a 5-star hotel. That's something that the Tampa market lacks, even though we're the largest and fastest hotel market in the whole nation at the moment. We lack 5-star hotels.
We do.
And this makes us, it makes it very difficult for us to compete for bigger venues such as the World Cup. Even get the Super Bowl here now. In 2021, it makes it even more imperative that some of these hoteliers build some top-level properties. I was actually in a meeting with the VP at the Tampa International Airport with Akash on Tuesday, and we had spoken with him, and they are going to build part of their new car building service where you basically get off the airplane, you go to this car rental center. With the monorail system is very high tech, but they're going to also be building 2 new hotels on site. And I asked the VP and the developer sitting in the room, what's the star of the hotels that you guys want to build? And they said probably 1 5-star and 1 maybe 3-star mid-level. And I said, hold your horses, please. Make sure that they're both 5 stars on the Tampa airport because we need them to pitch for these bigger venues. Everybody around us is 3-star. You guys need to be a premier site. The 2 closest thing we have 2 5-star hotels in our area, in the Tampa Bay area. Pinellas County probably has some higher end stuff than we do, but in the Tampa market, it'd probably be the Grand Hyatt right by the airport on Rocky Point. That site is excellent. You can't rebuild that site even if you wanted to. Right. And the second one would probably be the Marriott at Channelside.
Yeah, no, I from time to time I'll have real estate investors come into Tampa and they'll ask me for a good hotel to stay at, and honestly I'm like, well, there's no grand hotel if that's what you're looking for. I can give you some some decent hotels, like you said, 3-star hotels, but we don't have that level of luxury here in Tampa. Just another opportunity for developers such as yourself and other developments to come into the area. What's holding us back from getting more 5-star hotels is just the demand, isn't there?
Well, a 5-star hotel or a 4-star hotel start off about $500,000 a key. So the upfront investment for a 5-star caliber hotel, it requires a lot of money. I think the closest thing we ever came to building a 5-star hotel from one of my land shark buddies was George Steinbrenner was trying to build a 5-star hotel on Rocky Point back in the day, but it was just too risky for him to make that move because we didn't think we had the market back then. I think we have the market now for it, and I think even if there was another Great Recession or Depression, that market doesn't get affected very much during those times. They will stay 5-star tenant, customers.
Now, the hotel that you're planning over there on Hillsborough next to the casino, what's all involved in getting a hotel development off the ground? How much planning? How big is your team? What type of investment are you looking at in this project?
So, we're currently working through the land use attorneys in the county to get, the best potential use for the site. Second step would be to get a development from our engineer, kind of like a layout or a design of the hotel. We got an idea of what it should look like. It's probably going to mimic something similar to a Disney property.
And this is independent of the casino. There's no connection to the casino, though it's right beside it, so it's independent of that.
The third step would be the funding. So, for a 150 rooms for a 5-story hotel is roughly around $15 million nowadays. They usually get built within 18 months from most of these big hoteliers.
And so how do you finance a project like that? Do you just call in all the players in that market and try to, assemble the funds? Do you put your own assets on the line? How do you assemble that type of,
So we're shopping around for funding at the moment right now, but there's many capital firms, and the West Shore District has some great folks. I think we're the second largest economic resource in the Southeast United States is Tampa. I think the first is Atlanta. So I think we got some good lenders here in town. I think Grand Bridge Capital, we've dealt with them in the past. We had a great time with them. I think there's some private investors available as well.
How is their appetite for risk? Are they less, worried about the hotel business because you're saying it's such a blossoming business here? Are they more keen on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, like for example, Choice Hotels, they do like the Comfort Inns and stuff. They're giving some extra money on the side with they try to sign a brand of a hotel, so they give you key money. Basically, your franchise fee will be cut. They just want to get their brains out because they might be hurting a little bit more versus like a Hilton or a Marriott. They have their standards and they stick to them.
Right.
But I think for funding, I think there's a lot of opportunity. Putting up your own collateral, your own real estate is also another opportunity. You also get to mitigate different investment,
right.
tactics.
But just like in residential, where you hear about using other people's money, it's the same. At that level, it's all about getting outside investment and minimizing your risk in the event the project goes south. But with your expertise, I don't see that going south. I'm looking forward to seeing this project come to fruition. You even said it's going to have features for people's pets to be involved.
Yeah, we're looking at a pet resort on site, not adjoined to the hotel, but a separate building, and a nice restaurant on the first floor, hopefully. Multi-use feature, meeting space potentially on top of the parking garage, similar to a Center Club on West Shore and Kennedy. So we're looking for some good ideas, and I think we have a good team behind us with engineers, attorneys, and getting to know the local
Now you're right
as well.
next to the casino at this plot of land where this hotel will be constructed. Any competition from the casino here? I shouldn't say competition, but any hindrance from them? Are they aware of the plans? Are they cooperating with you? Are they trying to take the land from you? I mean, they can offer and get it because they're expanding at an exponential rate as it is. They're going to run out of space here soon.
Yeah, I think I've met with some of their leadership, and they're very fine folks, and they run 40 hotel resort casinos around the world internationally. So I think they're very large, and if they did want anything, I'm sure they could afford anything they wanted. But nothing has been approached to us. I think it'd be a benefit to them. I think they have some partner hotels across the street on 301 and I-4 across from the Florida State Fairgrounds, and there's a couple of partner hotels there that just stay full because they don't have enough capacity at their existing hotel to host their clients.
Right.
And some of these guys come in, they go to these high roller tables. They got $500,000, $1 million. They gamble. They want to be comped a nice, decent room, for spending that
Big
kind
money
of money
being dropped over there at that casino.
It's very, very huge money.
Yeah, it's incredible what's going on over there. I know you spend some time over there doing a lot of business and stuff, and
no gambling though.
No gambling. No, you're a consummate professional and stuff. But you definitely enjoy the fine dining over there, as
Absolutely.
do I.
Council Oak's great.
I love going over to Council Oak, and they've expanded. And I see they've opened a new smoke-free section now.
They did.
That's always been one of the big complaints of the casino.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you get all these folks, they come over here on the shuttles from these assisted living facilities, and they put these nickel machines up for them, and they get to go and get their blood circulating by walking around the casino, and they made this smoke-free room, so I guess you can walk around with an oxygen tank and,
Right.
and go play some magic games.
It's incredible, though, the number of people that come through that casino each and every day. I mean, to put it on at that level and stuff. It's just, I don't know how much you know about this, but why do we not see more investment in casinos at the state level? And, you hear a lot about this come up during the elections. About the idea of opening up more gambling, but why not more in our area?
Well, I think it's federally illegal. Number one, I think these
Yeah, there is that,
sites,
but I'm saying why has that never been relaxed and stuff?
I don't know if it should be. I think it's fine for them. I think they should have something, a niche for them. I think we have enough industries, and I don't know how positive an impact a casino actually would bring to a community. other than an existing one.
And we were talking about how the Seminole Indians control that particular land.
Right.
It's
Their
tax
jurisdiction.
It's their jurisdiction. They're able to do what they want. And I think there's a well-known court battle in the 80s when they started to build these casinos, and the federal government was like, wait, we didn't give you that land to go out there and make a bunch of money on it, and they wanted their tax dollars and stuff to roll in. But
that was a Fort Brooke parking garage where they built the parking garage in downtown Tampa on top of a Seminole burial ground, and as an exchange for compensation, they gave them that site.
Is that how that happened?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it was actually the worst site in Hillsborough County when they gave it to them back then because it was the lowest piece of land.
Right.
But little do they know the intersection or the interchange that came afterwards on 75 and I-4.
So that's how that came together. They
There's actually the story at Fort Brooke, Old Fort Brooke Parking
built it on
Garage.
Seminole ground.
Yeah,
and
they did the excavation. They found bones, and they found out that it was a Seminole or Native American burial ground.
Oh wow! So they turned over that piece of land to the Seminole tribe, and then when did they didn't put it to use until they had their duty-free shops and stuff over there.
Smoke shop, yeah.
Smoke shop and stuff.
Well, I found out something cool about the Seminole tribe as well that I didn't know. They're they were kind of like a collective memberships of all the old tribes. Back in the day, they all moved down south to the Lake Okeechobee and things like that, but they never surrendered to the United States. It's the only tribe that never surrendered.
Oh, really? That's an interesting fact.
I didn't know that.
Very interesting stuff. Well, a lot of great development happening here in Tampa Bay. Asif Hakeem on the forefront here with a upcoming hotel development over there by the hotel, Seminole Hard Rock Casino over there on Hillsborough near I-4. So, Asif, what else is on the plans here? Hotels, what else is on the
Assisted living
chopping blocks?
facilities. That's the next development that we're looking to get into as well. We have a nice piece of property right in front of the South Florida Baptist Hospital on Reynolds Street in Plant City, which is the second city in Hillsborough County, the city of Tampa. And that one's just off I-4. But yeah, we think it'd be a great site for an assisted living facility being right across the emergency room. God forbid anything happens, you could gurney the patient across the street to the ER.
No. Very good discussion. Asif, thank you so much for being in the studio with me today.
Thank you, sir.
And again, CEO of Hakeem Investments in Florida. Learn more at HakeemInvestments.com, 813-240-8380. Again, 813-240-8380. Some available space over there on Dale Mabry for you business professionals out there. Reach out to him and come to Tampa Bay and grow your business. You've been listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.